Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. I'm reading the book The Human Comedy by William Saroyan, and there is an anecdote in that book that just really moved me, and I thought I would share it with you. On the sidewalk, for the past 3 or 4 minutes, a young man had passed Mr. Spangler's office several times looking in. He came in at last and stood at the counter. Mr. Spangler noticed him and went over. "How are you?" Spangler said, remembering the boy. "I thought you'd be on your way home to Pennsylvania long ago. Your mother sent you the money. You didn't need to come back to pay me." "I didn't come back to pay you," the young man said. "I came back to get more. And I didn't come to beg for it," he coughed. I came to take it." "What's the matter with you?" Spangler said. "This is what's the matter with me," the young man said. From his right-hand coat pocket, he brought out a revolver and held it in a trembling hand. Mr. Spangler, still a little drunk and happy, couldn't understand. "Come on," the young man said. "Give me the money, all the money you got in this place. Everybody's killing everybody, and I don't mind if I kill you. And I don't mind if I'm killed. I'm excited, and I don't want any trouble. But if you don't give me all the money now, I'll shoot. Give me the money, and hurry." Spangler opened the cash drawer and took the money out of the several compartments. He placed the money, currency, rolls of coin, and open coins on the counter before the boy. "I'd give you the money anyway," Spangler said, "but not because you're pointing a gun at me. I'd give it to you because you need it. Here. This is all the money there is. Take it and get on a train and go home. Go back where you belong. I won't report a theft. I'll make it good myself. There's about $75 here." Spangler waited for the boy to take the money, but the boy wouldn't touch it. "I mean it," Spangler said. "Take the money and go. You need it. You're no criminal. And you're not so sick you can't get well. Your mother's waiting for you. This money is a gift from me to her. You won't be a thief taking it. Just take the money, put the gun away, go home. Throw the gun away, you'll feel better." The young man put the gun back into his coat pocket. Over his trembling mouth he placed the hand which had held the gun. "I ought to go out and shoot myself," the boy said. "Don't talk like a fool," Spangler said. He gathered the money together and held it out to the young man. "Now here," he said. "Here, this is all the money there is. Take it and go home, that's all. If you like, leave the gun here with me. Here's your money. Yes, yours. It is yours. If you've got to take a gun out to get it, it's yours. I must be in bad shape. I know how you feel, because I have felt the same way. We've all felt the same way. The graveyards, the penitentiaries are full of good kids who've had bad luck and hard times. They're not criminals. Here," he said gently, "take the money and go home." The young man brought the gun out of his pocket and pushed it across the counter to Spangler, who dropped it into the cash drawer. "I don't know who you are," he said, "but no one's ever talked to me the way you have. I don't want the gun, and I won't take the money, and I am going home. I bummed my way out here, and I'll bum my way back." He coughed a moment and then said, "I don't know where my mother got the $30. I know she has no money to spare. I spent some of the money drinking. I gambled some, and—" "Come and sit down," Spangler said. After a moment, the young man went to the chair beside Spangler's desk. Spangler sat down on the desk. "What's the matter?" he said to the young man. "I don't know exactly," the young man said. I'm sick, maybe TB, I'm not sure. If I haven't got it, I guess I ought to have it the way I've been living. I don't like to complain. I've had a lot of bad luck, but I know a lot of it is my own fault. I'll go now. Thanks a lot. I'll try to remember you someday." And the young man turned to leave the office. "Wait a minute," Spangler said. "Sit down. Take it easy. You got a lot of time now. You're not rushing things anymore. From now on, move a little slower. What's a fellow like you interested in?" "I don't know," the young man said. "I don't know which way to go, or what to do when I get there, or what to believe, or anything. My father was a preacher, but he's been dead since I was 3 years old. I just don't know what to do." He looked at Spangler. "What is there to do?" he said. "Oh, nothing in particular," Spangler said. "Anything. Doesn't matter what a man does, any good, honest work." "I've always been restless and dissatisfied," the young man said. "I don't know what it is. Nothing means anything to me. I don't like people. I don't like being near them. I don't trust them. I don't like the way they live or talk or the things they believe or the way they push each other around." "Every man in the world feels that way at one time or another," Spangler said. "It's not that I don't understand myself," the young man said. "I guess I do. I've got no alibis. I'm responsible for everything. Now I'm just tired and fed up and sick. Nothing interests me. The whole world's gone crazy. I can't live the kind of life I want to live, and I don't feel like living any other kind. It's not money I want or need. I know I could get a job, especially now. But I don't like the people you got to get jobs from. They're no good. I don't like being pushed around. I don't like being humble to them. I tried hard to hold a few jobs in York, Pennsylvania. I always had a fight and got fired. 3 or 4 days, a week, maybe a week and a half. The longest I ever held a job was 1 month. I tried to enlist in the army in York because I thought that might be a good thing to do. Go somewhere, get killed maybe. If they boss you in the army, at least it's for something that's supposed to be halfway decent. I don't know whether it really is decent or not, but at least it's supposed to be. They turned me down and I couldn't pass the physical exam. It wasn't my lungs only, it was other things too. I didn't bother to find out. The young man began to cough again, but this time he coughed for almost a full minute. Spangler brought a small bottle out of the desk drawer. "Here," he said, "take a drink of this." "Thanks," the young man said. "I drink a little too much, but I do need a drink now." The young man took a swallow from the bottle, then handed it back to Spangler. "Thanks," he said. Spangler decided he ought to urge the young man to go on talking. "What do you read?" he said. "Oh, everything," the young man said. "At least I used to when I was home. My father had a lot of books, not religious books only, good books by good writers. My favorite was William Blake. Maybe you know his stuff? Shakespeare, Milton, Pope, Donne, Dickens, Thackeray, all of them. I read every book my father had, some of them twice, a few 3 times. I used to like to read, but no more. Now I don't even want to look at newspapers. I know the news. The news is corruption and murder all over the place, every day, and not one man in the world shocked about it." He held his head in his hands, and speaking softly, he went on without looking up. "I can't thank you for what you've done, and for the kind of human being you are," he said. "I must tell you, I would have shot you if you had been afraid of me or unkind. Everyone in the world is afraid or unkind. I know now that I didn't come here with a gun for money. I don't know whether you will understand, but I came here with a gun to find out once and for all if the only man in the world I have ever known who has been decent to another man, just to be decent, just for itself, was truly so. I came to find out if it wasn't an accident. I couldn't believe anybody could be really decent, because it made my whole feeling about everything and everyone untrue. The feeling I have had for a long time, that the human race is hopeless and corrupt, that there isn't one man in the world worthy of being truly human, worthy of another man's respect. For a long time I've had contempt for the pathetic as well as for the proud. And then suddenly, thousands of miles from home, in a strange city, I found a man who was decent. It bothered me. It bothered me for a long time. I couldn't believe it. I had to find out. I wanted it to be true. I wanted to believe it, because I've been telling myself for years, let me find one man uncorrupted by the world so that I may be uncorrupted, so that I may believe and live. I wasn't sure the first time we met, but I'm sure now. I want nothing more from you. You've given me everything I want. You can't give me anything more. You understand? I know. When I get up, it shall be to say goodbye. You needn't worry about me. I am going home where I belong. I'm not going to die of this sickness. I am going to live. And now I'm going to know how to live. The young man did not lift his head for a moment. Then he got up slowly and looked at Spangler. Thanks a lot, he said. Spangler watched the young man walk out of the office. He went to the cash drawer and put the money back where it belonged. He took the young man's revolver and unloaded it. He put the revolver back into the drawer and dropped the shells into his coat pocket. Anyway, that is an anecdote I truly love. From The Human Comedy by William Saroyan. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.